Welcome to the homestead. My name is Brenda, my husband's name is Lee, and today is Throwback Thursdays. See where we came from, how we've progressed over the time. Each week you'll enjoy one of our past videos, so as you're watching our current videos, you'll be reminded of how much work we have actually accomplished thus far. We had already started a project, and I'm kind of not really good at getting the camera out when we need to get the camera out, but what we have behind us is our first garage getting ready to go up. And so we're right there, but today we've kind of looked at the garage and we thought, you know what, we leveled it with blocks and there was gaps. So what we're going to try to do, and if we're successful, it will work, and if we're not successful, we'll just give up. But we're going to use the post hole digger to kind of break up some of the dirt, almost like use it as a little rototiller to try to lower the bricks down just a little bit further closer to the ground, so we don't have quite such a big air gap in the back.
Well, here we are. After months of just moving dirt and weeds and grass from the trees around, we're finally working on our first building. We got the whole gang involved. We got a set of bricks in the ground. Even Baxter's trying to help over there. I'm not sure what he's trying to help do, but he's trying to help. First of many things that we didn't do quite correctly, you'll notice here we stood up the framed wall. If I had read the directions completely and better, those walls would have already had the siding on them, which would have helped the rigidity and also helped the siding be in the right place.
We've still got a lot to do on this garage. Right now, Lee is setting the wood to the bricks with some type of a power shot type of nail system where it's compressed air. He hits it with a hammer and boom, the nail gets shot into the brick. That's to help keep things level, keep the wood from sliding off of the blocks, and so that's what he's doing today. It's back to working on the garage. What Lee is doing is he's putting the top boards on place. They were supposed to have bottom boards too, but they didn't supply them in the kit, and it has to do with the whole framing thing. We didn't notice that until we had already gone through the process of raising the walls and stuff. Lee is on his very last rafter. Rafter? Sounds like a dinosaur. This morning, I woke up to trusses. Yes, I was busy sleeping in my warm, toasty bed, and Lee was out early in the morning putting up trusses. Lee's done a really good job, and it's almost done. We've got a ways before it's almost done, but the roof is almost done. Well, once he gets started, it will be almost done. Okay, he hasn't started yet, so it's not almost done, but we are almost ready to start that roof. Time to get busy on that roof. What we've decided to do today is that Lee will hold the wood and I will hammer it in. We already did the first panel and it worked out okay. a lot easier than when I hold the wood and Lee does the hammering. Okay. Yesterday I worked in this area cleaning up this tree, bringing it up high so it's more manageable. And if you remember, it looked very much like this tree over here. That is very unmanageable with all the growth at the ground level, all the branches here and there. And now we have this. And then these little trees right here, we already cleaned them up, you know, a little bit. We've cleaned up a lot of these trees over here. Some of them we haven't cleaned up at all. But we're going to cut these down because they're just going to be in the way. We have these haystacks all over the property where we've been working, where we've already cleared. We took the ground way down and we raked, and then we made piles and we moved to the next section. And so as we need to clear more, we're having to move the stacks that we have in place, or the wood stacks we have in place, because they're all over the property too. This side is done, it's been nailed, and now what Lee is doing, he's putting a 2x4 along the edge as a safety guard, because he's going to have to get the boards, the next boards, up and over this board and lay it on the edge. Then he's going to have to climb on the roof and nail down all of this board. We put a board across the roof line. It does two things. First, when Lee's pushing the board up, it allows that board not to come and slice his head off, which is good. Secondly, when Lee climbs up there to do all the nailing, it allows him not to slide off of the roof. Anybody else watching this video, watching Lee do that crab crawl across the roof, thinking, sit down, Lee, sit down? Or is it just me? Lee is nailing on the outer edges every 6 inches with a nail. Down the center ones, he is measuring 12 inches. And so that's what he's doing now, is going back through, putting in all the nails. Okay, I wasn't recording, but Lee came down off the roof to get some nails. And when he went back up, he was doing his little leg crawly thing, half on, half off, when he started to fall off the roof. one leg was dangling. His body was just, I just can't tell you. It scared me to death. Thank God we put that board there because it caught his secondary foot and he did not go completely off the roof. I am shaken to the core. I got tears in my eyes. And that man right there is not going to be allowed to get off his bum again. Anything he's doing up on that roof will be on his bum. Today we are back at the property once again and ready to do some work. It's a very brisk morning. It's in the low 30s. Lee's already began hammering on that shed garage that we're trying to finish up. He's got a lot of work to do on that. Doors, windows, trim, a lot of work is going on over there. I'll be helping him today do that. But earlier today, Lee dug a trench with the hole digger. And he went from the RV to the low spot over there because what happened here was the last time we were here and we had that thunderstorm, we were able to see how much water is gathering underneath the RV, and it is way too much. There's a low spot in the ground, and unfortunately the water has no place to go, and so it just sets underneath the RV. And as you know, we don't want the RV to stay here, but we can't move it because it's constantly wet and muddy, and we can't get we don't want the RV to get stuck, obviously. And so what we've done here is Lee used the hole digger to dig a trench around. I'm going to take the shovel and get the dirt out of the trench, put it in a wheelbarrow, take the dirt to the other side of the RV where there's a low spot. And last time we were here, it breached. We had this little mound of dirt to try to keep the water over here, and it breached it, and so it was soppy all over. And so when we step out of the RV, we were stepping into some muck. So we're going to fix that problem, get the water so it runs over. It's supposed to rain in 2 days, and so we're hoping that this works to get the water flowing away and heading down that hill. Anyway, we've got a really busy day, so let's get to it. Oh, this is the trim piece for the front, and as you can see, this board right here is bowed really bad.
Okay, so we had to remake one of the gable extensions. So I did that, and now we're going to put that together. This piece of trim you see here goes primer side down. That'll get screwed onto the 2x4, and then that will be screwed up onto the gable. And then after that's done, we will put the fascia on the outside of it. So this is basically a gable extension. It gives us a little bit of a rain drip edge.
I came inside the cabin to charge up the battery for a little bit, and I wanted to meet Freddie. Freddie's our cat. He travels with us to the property when we're going to be gone longer than a day or two, and he does not always like to come, We get his collar out and his leash, and he usually hides in the closet. Once he's here, he's completely content. While Lee has been busy working on the outside of the garage, I have been laying rock on the inside.
Here we are several weeks after we started this process. It took longer than both of us thought it was going to. I am not really remembering why, but it sure seemed to take a while. And we're not even done with this yet. We still have a lot of things to do.
Lee is going to be starting with putting the framework around the windows on the garage door. And he needs to lay them on top, but screw them from the bottom. So that's going to be fun. Okay, Lee took a pause on the garage doors because the only thing to do is to hang them now to do the windows. This is the last of 3 windows that Lee is now installing. We have the door nailed so it doesn't come crashing down. Yesterday, the doors started to fall, and it was everything Lee and I could do to catch them before they hit the ground. And we still have trim work to put on, and as well as some other type of trim that needs to go on before we paint. It took several weeks and several videos, but the garage was finished. That's it for us. Thank you for watching. Join us next time on The Homestead. Be sure to like, share, press the notification bell, and subscribe. Tell your friends about us, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye now.